It's another edition of Channel's Book Club, your one-stop shop for all things literature. Welcome to the program. I'm Olakunle Kasumo. If you're watching us in Nigeria, I hope you had an enjoyable Salah holiday and are already back in full workflow. We've been hard at work ensuring that you never have a boring moment. Speaking of boring, have you ever been stuck with a boring book? It can be a horrific experience. That's why it's always a relief to find authors who go the extra mile to ensure their books are interesting enough. Our two young guest authors today fall into that category. One wrote fiction, a love story with an unexpected ending, while the other wrote reality, the story of a famous political leader. Let's set the stage for our first author by introducing his exciting romance novel. I couldn't drop it once I started reading. It's titled Seun Dapo. After the introduction, enjoy a short report on a book reading event the author featured in.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure having the both of you here. My name is Seun Odukoya and I'll be a therapist. So I understand the both of you have a couple of issues and I hope you'll be able to talk about it. So whatever is going on, just talk. Whatever you're feeling. Yeah, me see you first.
I know I'm not perfect, but I don't need reminders from a helpless and imperfect person.
Can you hear what you're saying?
I can breathe most times in this frequency.
Book reading events.
Girlfriend. Wow. And I'm also.
They are beginning to happen in quick succession across Nigeria, especially in Lagos, the country's commercial capital. And we've been to a few.
No, you have this one, yes.
Yes, I do have questions.
Popular home of indigenous arts, Terra Culture, hosts authors at interesting reading sessions every month.
Yeah, and I'll be reading Mr. Adele, but that's here Mrs. Moore.
An emerging writing star, Seun Odukoya, was a recent guest reader, and he was joined by fellow author and poet, Odukoya.
By the time the long and winding talk by the chairman was over, all the guests were eating. Only then did she begin to look for her boyfriend. She was pleasantly shocked to see him wearing a suit. And in a repetition of her actions that morning, she stood for a while, absorbing the sight of him. He had a wine glass in his left hand, right hand around the back of the chair of the one they called lookalike Kazim. She remembered his name.
They read from Seun's new romance novel titled Seun Dapo.
Her eyes went back to a gleam she passed over on his left wrist, and he made her heart swell to find it was the wristwatch she had bought him. Self-conscious, she walked towards the laughing group, butterflies flapping around in her tummy. A random thought about her phone flashed into her mind, not the same mind reminded her that it was Ritoke. She smiled and kept on walking. She was almost in their midst before Dapo noticed her and stood up immediately and lifted up her hand. She smiled proudly, looking up at him. He kissed the corner of her mouth, softly, before turning to his friends.
Guys, I'd like you to meet my girlfriend, Yemisi. These are my colleagues, the very crazy guys I work with.
There was genuine warmth in the way they greeted her, even the females, all of them except one. A buxom woman who looked familiar turned up her nose and faced Dapo. Isn't she the one you said was your cousin some time ago? Yemisi flinched and then almost laughed as she recognized Grace, the Orogo from Dapo's office. A retort came to her mouth and just then Dapo spoke.
It's not illegal to date your cousin, yes, is it, Mama Grace? Besides, cousin is relative.
As in relative. Cousin spoke from the back, igniting laughter. Grace turned away, her face a study in embarrassment. As Dapo, with a gentle hand on the small of her back, showed her towards his seat. Yemisi heard him say,
And here's my little cousin, Remilaku. I'm not dating him, sha.
Yemisi turned amidst laughter, looking for the cousin she had been thinking did not exist, and then she froze when she found her target. He looked like an interesting cross between Idris Elba and Denzel Washington with a bit of Nas thrown in. His looks were arresting, but this time because she had seen them before. Dapo's cousin Remy couldn't mask the surprise that appeared on his face.
Yeah, me see.
She couldn't have closed her mouth if she tried. Remy. She was finally able to spit out after the third attempt. Dapo looked from one to the other.
You guys know each other? Yeah, it's all for me.
The guest author had questions to respond to.
I would say that, of course, I'm influenced by what I read. And the reason why I write romance is because I hate romance. I know that sounds very absurd, but it's the truth. Let me explain. Yeah, the thing is, romance novels are typically cliche. Once you've read one, you've read everything. There's always a formula.
At the end, he autographs his book for guests.
You know what I'm saying? Epistle.
If you haven't attended any, you may want to try out one of the many book reading events happening in some of Nigeria's cities these days. Well, they can be fun.